You're watching the PlantX vodcast. Join us as we explore the inner workings of all things plant-based and all things PlantX, from the products and lifestyles to the people behind them. Now welcome our host, the man who combined his love of e-commerce and the plant-based lifestyle to create PlantX, Sean Dollinger.
Hey everyone, welcome to Season 2, Episode 15 of the PlantX vodcast. And again, thank you very much for taking time out of your day to join us each week to learn a little bit more about what PlantX is all about. Today we have David Greenfeld, who's co-founder and CEO of Dream Pops, and look forward to having him on the show shortly. As everyone knows, we love to start the vodcast off by saying a little bit about what PlantX is all about. And, PlantX is your one-stop shop for everything plant-based. So if you're looking for meal delivery, plants for the home, groceries, we've now launched in the UK, USA, Canada, and people looking for pet products, any type of grocery items, plant-based cosmetics, and obviously the portfolio keeps growing larger and larger. Today, we announced an acquisition with a company called out of Chicago. And, John, who's the passion when I met him and everything about them, they've created such a unique brand for themselves in the Chicago area. And it's basically two locations, and one location being 2,500 square feet, where they're doing roughly $3.5 million in revenue a year. And then a 7,500 square foot location just outside of Chicago. And, the brand itself, Peter Ruby, and what it stands for, John and Maria, the products they carry, the due diligence they do to make sure that the products they carry are sustainable, and the following that they've gathered. And for the acquisition to be made at $3 million roughly, that's not even one time's revenue, and that's pretty much unheard of. And it should speak wonders about what they think, what Peter Ruby thinks of what we've built here at PlantX, because they've been around a lot longer than us, but the vision is the same. And everything that we're going to work on here, and I've said it before, where I believe 1 + 1 = 11, not just 2, that's the path that we're headed down, and really excited to share more in the future. We'll have a few more updates at the end of the show today, but I'd like to bring our guest on. David, welcome to the PlantX vodcast.
What's happening? Sean, thanks so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, thanks, David. And it was great speaking at the start of the vodcast, before it got going. Hearing a little bit about your story. We always love to start our vodcasts off by asking our guests how you take your coffee.
I take my coffee black, nothing in it, very boring, but usually just either iced or just hot black coffee.
Hey, I do the same. I just do mine decaf. That's the only difference in these days.
No caffeine at all. No, I'm saying I was asking, are you not you only decaf coffee?
Only decaf. Yeah, I just love the taste of coffee at the end of the day, and pretty much have one in my hand all day long. But these days, I've been actually going with some mint tea with some oat milk in it, and when people try it, they're like, "Wow, that's pretty good."
Love it. Well, thank you again for bringing us on. I'm a big fan. I know we had an awesome interview last time we chatted on our podcast. So grateful to be a part of this and the PlantX movement. And thanks again.
Yeah, no, and thanks for having us on, and thanks for making time today. And for our viewers who might not know what your product's all about, Dream Pops, etc., maybe you could share a little bit about what.
Yes, 100%. 100%. So we are rethinking and reimagining American cult classic desserts, or just cult classic desserts for the next generation. We started with a Dream Pop, which I've actually got right in front of me. The Dream Pop is a geometric, iconic ice cream bar. This is our first product. It's coconut milk based, super clean, less than 7 to 8 ingredients, depending on the SKU. But just, I have a massive sweet tooth and, eat pretty much fully plant-based. I was fully vegan, and was looking for better alternatives. I'm lactose intolerant, so dairy just does not cut it. And was kind of disappointed by, the frozen aisle and some of the legacy brands that I was constantly consuming, pints, ice cream sandwiches, you name it. And just thought that there had to be a better way. So we started with, an ice cream popsicle that was better for you, that we had to manufacture ourselves. That form factor, that's our patented shape and design. It really is our brand language, and just shows the level of obsession that we have with design, culinary innovation, and creating cleaner and better for you products for that next gen consumer. And are really excited to share, we launched our bites, that was about a year ago. Those are effectively, you can see it actually right over here, a better for you bonbon. Snackable, on the go, portion controlled. We use really clean chocolate, and it adds a little bit of coconut cream and superfoods like baobab. But really that allowed us to position ourselves as more than just a popsicle company, but that was frozen confectionery. And this next chapter for us in March, we'll be launching a new suite of shelf-stable confections, candies, sweets, treats, and desserts, and are really excited to show the world what we've been working on.
Yeah, that's awesome. And, I still haven't tried your products, so I'm really looking forward to giving them a try. And I guess that's the reason why you went plant-based with your product, due to what you just shared with us, right?
Yeah. So, I used to be an investment banker by trade. We would always, look at market research and dive into different industries. I mentioned I love ice cream, sweets, snacks, you name it. I have a really fond memory with products like Dunkaroos or Dippin' Dots, or Ben and Jerry's. And so started looking at the history of ice cream and popsicles, and just started to note that there had been a lack of innovation in the space. And just a lot of the products were exactly as they were 5 decades ago. And as a lactose intolerant, customer, why did I need to get a stomach ache, or why do other consumers need to get sick after consuming dairy products? And so it seemed like a really exciting opportunity to go head first with our first product, and to take on the confectionery industry as a whole. I also just thought there weren't a lot of plant-based products in candy and sweets, and so it could be a really fun opportunity to really innovate.
Yeah, I think that it's key that you've done it with clean ingredients. You look in so many of these products and you can't even read some of these items on the list. And I was amazed, and that it's a great product with how quickly you guys have expanded. I believe you said that you're already in a few thousand shops, which is, unbelievable in the time that you've done it. In any company that I've been part of with scaling at that kind of acceleration, et cetera, what challenges did you face?
Yeah, so we're a vertically integrated manufacturer, and what that means is people could not make this custom shape. So the same way you'd have to build a custom car, you have to start from ground zero. How are we going to make this geometric shape? We're using liquid nitrogen to flash freeze our product, which results in a smaller ice crystal and a much creamier consistency. So it really started, without not even kidding, we were in my mom's kitchen, using molds and liquid nitrogen, hand making this product. We then moved to 5 different commercial kitchens and spaces, and then eventually, hired a team of engineers and built our own line, which is what we run up in Northern California. And then have since, expanding into other products, have invested in custom equipment and machinery, in order to scale throughout the rest of the country and globally. So now we have, a few different facilities where we're manufacturing, and are continuing to innovate by being really thoughtful on how we're manufacturing the product.
Yeah, it must have been quite the challenge to build out those products, things that didn't exist. Obviously I've had nitro ice cream and I think it's awesome, the creaminess to it, like you said. And during your journey, and I've seen this I was mentioning to you, I've been on this plant-based journey for 10 years, and 10 years ago the word was vegan. It wasn't really plant-based, and over the last little bit we keep seeing plant-based more front and center. The question is, how far do you see this going, this whole trend? Is it just a buzzword in your mind, or what direction does your company see this going?
Absolutely not. I mean, I personally am just very bullish on the plant-based movement in ice cream right now. I think there are a couple camps. There's plant-based, there's keto, there's super indulgent. I think it's fairly obvious looking at just the numbers and the trends in alternative milk, in alternative meat, and now in alternative confectionery. In our opinion, the trend continues. People want cleaner and better for you options. Whether it's coconut milk and coconut cream based like ours, or oat milk, or almond milk, flax, pistachio, macadamia. There's so many ways to create dairy alternatives, and so many incredible pioneers in the industry, and we're just glad to be a part of that ride.
Yeah, it's amazing how far these products have come over the years. I speak a lot about it on the cheese front, where there was just a couple players 10 years back even, and now, you blindfold someone and they wouldn't even be able to tell the difference. And I think that's great. The direction your company has gone. And David, I don't know if you know this, but we have our guests come on here live, our investors. You mentioned that you were an investment banker before, so we have this platform. So we encourage people to ask questions live as well, so that, once we have you for a little bit, it would be great to be able to ask those to you. We had Victoria McKinley ask a few questions today. So we'll go ahead and send out some plants to her, as well as a $100 PlantX gift card, so that she could go ahead and make whatever purchases she'd like for the holidays. So thank you very much, Victoria, for participating. And obviously we love feedback. You take time to watch this, so we want you to get the most out of the show. So please give feedback, ask questions. It's open, and they get fed live to me. So, David, one thing that I noticed about your products, and you spoke a little bit about it, you care about the wellness aspect. A lot of people out there, hey, it just tastes good. And I'm always blown away or excited to bring people into the plant-based lifestyle, where they try something and hopefully your product, and it sounds like it is, taste it and they're like, wow, I can't believe this is plant-based. But then on top of that, for it to also be on the healthier side, I think is a big thing. Can you share?
Yeah, something we're proud of is we look at products that personally, like, we have emotional attachments to. One was obviously the popsicle, the Magnum bar, the popsicle company. There are these incredible brands out there, but they a lot of them have high fructose corn syrup, artificial flavors, cane sugar. We kind of deconstructed the popsicle and said, okay, can we do this with just coconut milk? With just pure, strawberries, raspberries, with baobab, with a superfood. We did the same thing with the bites. We looked at a Nestle's Dib product, or some of these other bigger bonbon products, and said, instead of 24 ingredients, can we do this with 6? Can we use true, no gums, no stabilizers? Can we use coconut sugar as opposed to any other cane sugar or alternative sweetener like an erythritol? So we only use coconut sugar. It's something we're very proud of. It's a lot harder. It comes with a lot more supply chain challenges, but it's the right way to do things for the long run, and that's just something that's very important to our mission.
Great, love it. No, thanks for sharing all of that with our viewers. And again, I can't wait to try your product. And before we open the floor to to our investors or customers or anyone who has questions, plant-based companies, tons of them coming out, like you mentioned a little bit earlier. Have you any of them catch your eye? Have you personally invested in any of them? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably one of the most exciting times to be building a company that is a plant-based, that is in the plant-based sector. One of which that I'm lucky and fortunate to have been involved in for a little bit is called Daring Foods. One of my very closest friends, Ross Mackay. He is taking on chicken and trying to remove chicken from the food system, and that's one that I am invested in. Another one that I'm a huge fan of is Chubby Snacks, which is an alternative, a cleaner, better for you alternative to Uncrustables. And they have a plant-based variety that is taking that on. So there's this common trend that I've seen with really higher probability success companies. There are usually audiences that are built into certain consumer products. And when you can create a truly better for you, cleaner for you option that is plant-based, that's really where I think the magic happens. And that's what drives our thesis and what we're building. And so I think you're going to continue to see that across most categories where dairy or animal products are prevalent.
I agree. When you don't need to reinvent a taste for the consumer, definitely has the most traction out there. And, that's where I see the success from the Beyonds and the Impossibles, where, if you try to reinvent the burger and the way it tastes, how much momentum would they have got from the start? And I think that definitely going mainstream, for example, like your product, everybody knows what ice cream tastes like. So if you could mimic that taste or create it in a cleaner fashion, why would people not move to your product? And then, I think that attributes to some of the success that you've already had. So
isn't it wild to think? And, I'm a huge sweets consumer, but like you look at these major forces in the confectionery industry, and there isn't a lot of plant-based innovation. There aren't a lot of products that are in 50,000, 100,000 points of distribution. So I just get excited about it.
Yeah, no, tons of opportunity. And, once a company comes out mainstream, I do look for that explosive growth, because if it catches, in 2021, we're knocking on 2022 here, I find things just go and take off. And that's one of the beauties about what PlantX has built with our different verticals. We see it for ourselves. Sometimes you enter into a market that might just not be ready for a certain vertical. But then the beauty about us being a platform, we could shift and put our energy into something that is taking off. For example, like your products, which are, definitely catching on. And as you get a shelf stable product, we're hopefully going to be able to add that to our platform and then have e-com distribution throughout the US. So we've had a few questions come in. One from Sean Howell. Are your bonbons like a protein shake or a protein dose?
I've heard of people consuming them post-workout, but we are not, I would not call them an alternative to a protein shake, but, not a bad idea. We've actually looked at, some protein infused pops or bites. So great idea there, but no, it is not an alternative.
Yeah, no, the protein category is huge and we see it really taking off. That's one of the beauties, again, about being the platform where we get some insight on all these different verticals and we could see the movement and then be able to feed that information back to our partners. So definitely a great category. Victoria McKinley, is there a coffee flavor? Dreaming about a Guinness Dream Pop float.
Yes. So I love that question. We do have a coconut latte that has been on the market. We are reviving and making some updates to it. So you'll see it start to resurface. That being said, I love the idea where you're mentioning the Guinness. We have done limited time offers with, a few brands in the space. We've done a Soho House pop where we actually brought in, a tequila margarita infused variety for a limited time. So like where your head's at with the Guinness, and definitely something we'll think about.
Love it. Avnish asked, are your products only in retail?
So right now we're in 4,000 retail doors, primarily natural specialty. We've also got a pretty solid presence in Canada. But we currently are sold out online, but we will be reopening our frozen D2C in March, and then our shelf stable products will be online at D2C and then on Amazon starting March 1st as well. So keep an eye out for that.
Great. Sorry, once.
Yeah, no worries. And just on that, if you're looking, you can check out our store locator on the website, www.dreampops.com, or our Instagram. Pretty easy to find the stores and the locations. All
Sorry
good?
about that. That's the thing with live, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry about that. Christian asked, how many calories are in each serving of your Dream Pops?
Yeah, so we have 3 servings in each of our bites. Each serving is about 90 to 100 calories, and each pop is less than 100 calories. So really eager to keep it below 100 calories with our products that we have right now.
Great. And Christian also asked, is it safe for children?
Very safe for children. They're poppable, they're easy, no issues there. Kids absolutely love our product, so definitely.
Awesome. Well, it's super active today, which is great. And again, thank you very much for taking time to speak. And I look forward to meeting you in the next little bit.
Yes. And Sean, thank you again for sharing our story. Very inspiring what you guys are building. I hope to work together officially. And, if there's any way we can send you all some ice cream, we would love to.
Hey, awesome. Well, again, can't wait to meet you and look forward to trying your product in person.
Awesome. Thank you all. Appreciate it, Sean.
Hey, thanks, David. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
So we did have a few more questions, and they were directed more towards the PlantX side. So I wanted to be mindful to David today and let him, get on his way. MT asked, what's the outlook for PlantX next year in terms of revenue and earnings? At the end of the day, you need to really put together where PlantX is at. We just came out with record-breaking and not even close to last year. I believe that it was over 60% higher Black Friday to Cyber Monday, and that just gives you a little bit of a glimpse into the holiday season. PlantX's platform that we built now totally on Shopify allows us to scale really to the next level. And with the verticals like Bloombox, being one of the hottest gifts over in the UK, opening up Tel Aviv this week. I believe it opens up Wednesday. Last week, opening up Hudson's Bay Company, the store in Toronto that now gives us distribution throughout Toronto, announcing the acquisition of Peter Ruby, which I personally believe could generate revenue of somewhere in the neighborhood of 15 million US dollars just between those 2 stores a year. And then having e-com distribution now through the Midwest. Launching PlantX UK, Bloombox USA, our plant division opening up the first week of January. All of these things stacking on one another. PlantX is now ready for explosive expansion and growth. And the beauty about it is, that will be funded properly to do this, as well as have the cash flow for that expansion. So we're really, really excited on everything that we've been able to put together this year. If you start reading through every single press release, including the app that's now launched, that's only phase 1 of the app. Eventually, it'll have the technology that you could scan yourself through the store, scan QR codes, read stories, even be looped in with founders like David on their products to get information, and then be able to check out yourself. If you don't feel like taking those products while you leave the store, we'll have them delivered to your doorstep. This is where PlantX is headed. In the first week of January, we launch our fitness platform, where we already have over 15 instructors, hundreds of classes already uploaded, and that's ready to go. So we're really, really excited. And the last piece of the puzzle that we'll be working on during the holiday season in the first quarter of 2022 is a loyalty program built on cryptocurrency, blockchain technology, which is completely innovative, and really excited to share more in the new year about all of that. And I think that we just had one more question that I saw. Sorry, are you planning to open up in Toronto, in Ontario? So yes, our store is now open at the Bay. Feel free to go check it out, and we'll be able to do same day delivery through Toronto with that. So glad that you guys all took time out of your day to listen a little bit more about what we're up to at PlantX. Again, if you are an investor, keep seeing these locations as distribution points, fulfillment centers for our e-commerce side of things. Like the store in Chicago is 7,500 square feet, but it has walk-in coolers, walk-in freezers. It has 7,500 square feet of warehouse space, has a parking lot with 70 parking stalls. These types of things are unheard of in the Chicago area. And to be able to have that distribution, have the room to be able to expand, that's really what we're all about. And if you start looking at our market cap today compared to other e-commerce companies in emerging markets like PlantX is, you could do the calculations yourself. It starts not really making sense. So at the end of the day, we definitely feel PlantX is ready for its next move up. And we're really, really excited for what 2022 brings. Again, thank you very much for taking time out of your day to join us. And until next week, stay curious, stay planted, stay healthy. Cheers.
Thanks for watching the PlantX Vodcast. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. For more information, go to investor.plantx.com. See you next time.